Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's a good day. I have touched yarn. I was about to say I haven't touched any yarn. That's not a 100% true. I haven't done any knitting and I haven't done any crocheting. I have not put a single stitch on anything yet today. I'd like to. I would. So maybe once I finish this next chore, oh no, not the video. The video is not a chore, but the chore involved with what I'm going to show you. Once I finish that, I plan on doing some knitting or crocheting, maybe a little both. I don't know. My trip around the world blanket needs to be done, and I've got lots of knitting projects that need to be done. But what I did do, I did a chore that I've been putting off. Look at this. This is going to be somebody else's happy mug. This bag, and I'm so proud of myself. For one, I packaged it up. I mean, okay, not everybody is just spot on sending things out. It's the reason why I can't have an Etsy shop. Well, I could, but no. Because if you're going to have something like that, then when somebody places the order, you need to be on the ball and actually pack it up to get it ready to send out immediately. No, I'll do it tomorrow. No excuses, no nothing else. That's not how this goes, but that's okay. The person who's getting this has no idea it's coming, so it doesn't matter, right? So it's not late, right? But the cool thing was this bag is the same bag that I got from Tyler from Arcane Fiberworks. I just got to reuse it so that I didn't destroy it. So cool. It came all the way from Canada and now it's going somewhere else. I'm not gonna say where because, well, I'm just not. But anyway, so I got that one. So I was all kinds of happy. And then this one I'm proud of, right? It got this little box, right? Box in a bag. Where did we learn this from? Lori. Lori from the Armchair Chef showed us and taught us. If you follow her and watch her, pirate ship is another way of mailing things, and it's a lot less expensive. Like this one is over 2 pounds, and it was, I don't know, it doesn't say it on the outside, but they were a lot less expensive for where they were going to and who they were shipped to. So really happy about that. Oh yeah, I got stuff ready, right? And I'm hoping this one makes it. What I have found is my packages that look like they could be on Narcos or something like that, you know, that I package up really tight. They have problems in Denver. They end up all over the place. You know what? It's truly, if you followed along and played with the Mystery Yarn Challenge, when we had the July, where Lori came up with this wonderful playlist and said Christmas in July, go ahead and make what you want. I think it's July. That was partially because of me, not because I was naughty and didn't send my things out. I mean, hello, I sent them. It's that it took like 2 weeks for the person to get it because Denver post office doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah. So it leaves my post office, it goes to Denver, and I don't know. It just takes vacations and does whatever. So I'm hoping this one makes it, because this looks like the shape that tends to get lost. Maybe the other ones will make it. I don't know. But somebody is going to get some happy mail. It's not my happy mail, but somebody's gonna get some happy mail. So I'm excited about that. You know, we do a lot of crafting, and oh yeah, there's some yarn in here. I mean, we just said I touched yarn, but you know, we do a lot of crafting and we do a lot of fun stuff, and don't always take time to do the other things. So that was one of my chores. I don't have time. None of that stuff had timelines. It wasn't like I'm late. It wasn't like I said, I will send this on blah date and it's now late. But I know when I thought about sending it, and this is late. Yeah, we know how that goes. But that's okay. It's getting out one thing at a time. So right now I'm going to breathe. And I'm going to be happy that I did something productive. Yeah. I mean, yes, I went to work today and I was productive there, and I get that. But you know, in my own life and things that I want to do that are fun for me, because a lot of times once you go to work and you come home, I'm tired. Maybe you're not, but I have a job that's mental, and you know, I mean, I get tired, I get exhausted, and I don't always play and I don't always do the things I want to. So today I came home and got something done. So as soon as this goes off, I'm gonna go ahead and mail those. And then what is something else that I've been working on? Oh yeah, I am working on the tutorial for the trip around the world blanket. I've got majority of it done. See, look, I even had to start another one so I could do the tutorial, right? There you go. So I have the majority of it done. I'm just trying to do some like loose ends for it, try to polish it a little bit, and cutting out a lot. I mean, not gonna lie, you don't need a huge long hour-plus long video for me to show you how to do that. But if I didn't cut things out, that's what it would have been. And that would have been boring. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just, yeah, okay. Maybe it wouldn't have, but yeah. I can't do that to you guys. I like you. There you go. And truthfully, all you want is the instructions. You just want to know how to make it if you're interested in making it. And if you do end up making this, you can keep them yourself. You can give them away. You can do whatever you want to with it. I know my oldest son saw the one that I'm working on and he's like, ooh, because he remembers, and he's got some of them, all the quilts that my mom made, and it's very reminiscent of those. It is a traditional quilt pattern after all. And he's like, oh, I'd like one of those. And I think they would. I think he and his wife would very much like to have that. So I told him, and I showed him all my Boggy Creek blankets, and one of them that he really liked was this. He's like, oh, he and his wife both really liked this color. And I said, well, this one is already promised, right? Since this is the size, and they would need something a lot bigger, but he really likes this color. And I just had 2 of these and I turned it into this. And this is a discontinued color for the Caron cakes. This was the skinny cakes. This was the plum pudding. So yeah, he really liked that plum pudding. It took 2 cakes on this one. So I'll come up with something else. But I showed him all the blankets that I've got either ready to pack. Well, that kind of gives you a clue. I haven't packed my blankets. But I was showing him all of those, and he and his wife liked a few of them. And I said, okay, well, you have to let me know in advance because these are promised. And I will send those because those were promised. You know, even if it's just in my own head, it doesn't matter. I promised them. That's what I made them for. They will go for Camp Boggy Creek. And hopefully a child will really appreciate what, you know, whatever gifts they end up getting. So I think that's pretty wonderful. Yeah, it was just nice having everyone over for the weekend, and you know, because it was Labor Day weekend, everyone came over. House was full all the way till bedtime. So yeah, you know how that goes. It was enjoyable. So I'm just riding that high, so to speak. I have children and grandchildren who like and appreciate what Nana makes. There's a growing list. I mean, there is a growing list. It is already September, so people are starting to think about the Christmas presents, and the kids see the socks that I make for the adults. I do not make the socks for kids. If that makes me bad, then I'm just bad. I'll just deal with it. But I make them other things, and since I made dresses and stuff for the kids when they were little, for the little girls, and tops and sweaters for the boys, they're wanting more dresses, and they're 8 now and they're bigger. I'm like, oh yeah. And then my oldest son was here and he tried on my husband's sweater again, the Saint Nick sweater. He loves that, and it's really funny because we also showed him this one and he wasn't as thrilled. He liked the Saint Nick color. And the reason I'm showing this one is this is another one that I'm working on for my husband. It's number 3, sweater number 3 for the year. He would have given that one to him. He would. If he liked that one, once I finish it, he's like, yes, give that one to him. But he was going after the Saint Nick sweater, and both of them had commented, it is like a big hug, and both really liked it. So the oldest one wants a sweater. It's the same size, same everything as making something for my husband. That's a bit of work. Will I make him one? Yes. Yes, I will. Will I get it done by Christmas? That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. I've got a lot of things already started on the needles, and I think maybe I should take 5-10 minutes a day and work on those. I don't know. What do you think? I should have. I do have a whiteboard, whatever. It's one of those cheap ones that doesn't really erase well. But I should have a whiteboard and kind of do the little check off list. You know, I've contemplated and I've talked about doing like a 10-gram challenge, you know, especially on a sweater, 10 grams, or especially on a fingering weight sweater, 10 grams, a lot of times is 44 yards. If your hank of yarn 100 grams is 440 yards. That's 44 yards. There you go. And if you're using like a worsted weight or something like that, it's less yards for 10 grams, right? But extrapolating that out, how quickly do you want to get your thing done, whatever that thing happens to be? And I liked that 10-gram challenge. So I think I might have to incorporate that into some of my other existing projects. Kind of a, oh, you want to work on the whatever, right? You know, it's kind of like the dessert, right? Here's your broccoli, then you can have your pudding. Actually, I like broccoli. So, but, you know, work on an existing something, you know, something that's been languishing for a while. Maybe weigh things out, 10 grams, 10 minutes, 10 yards, 10 something. I don't know. It just sounds good. Do something like that to kind of move things along. Just a little bit, because one stitch counts. And if you're doing 10 grams, that's a lot more than one stitch, right? If you're doing something like that, that's a lot more than one stitch. And just progressing little bits, because we know I'm starting more projects. I mean, hello, I'm not even going to tell you I'm not going to start more projects. That would, no, no, I'm going to start more. But it would be kind of nice to finish a couple of things. My husband was also telling our sons, like, oh yeah, mom's got my blanket she's working on too. I do. It's about up to here on me now. It's grown. I have really put more onto it. And he was saying about and I'm 5'8", and he was saying about another 4 to 6 inches. I think more than that. I do. I have the yarn. I have the everything else. Just sitting next to me. That's this one right here for anyone who hasn't seen it. It has gotten, I mean, look at this. Okay. So here's the needles, and you know, it's gotten a lot. It is quite large. Let me see. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. So there you go. It's gotten some size and everything to it. So I'm already working on it. Let's just make it right. Make it to what he wants it to be. Yeah. I mean, there's no rush for it, except that, you know, I'll start something else. I mean, hello, I'm going to start something else anyway. That's just the way it goes. Am I the only one that starts things like on a constant basis, or does everyone else do that? I know there are some of you that are very monogamous in one project only. I think that would drive me nuts. More power to you though, because there is no judgment. If that's how you work it and you can do it and life is good, no judgments. I like a lot of variety and moving around. And sometimes I want to crochet, and sometimes I want to knit, and sometimes I like my fingering weight yarn. And you know, like when I'm doing my socks, that is fingering weight yarn with small needles. And when I'm doing like a shawl, that might still be fingering weight yarn, but it's larger needles. Or even when I did my sweater, that was fingering weight yarn. Okay, I got a problem with fingering weight yarn. I'm not gonna lie, I got a problem. But I use size 4s. So it's a little more comfortable to work with than using the ones with the sock yarn. That does, you know, it's tighter. It's a little more strain on the hands. You do all the stitches and you get no results. That's what it seems like. It really does. You know, so I like different ways of progress. Some things I want the wow, not so much to go for bulky yarn. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We're not going there. Have I used bulky? Yes, I have. Is it my favorite? Nope. I mean, I got proof. You can see it right here. This little guy's bulky, right? You got proof. I've done it. And with Bulky Yarn Challenge, I've done it. I showed my daughter-in-law when she was over one of the projects that I had made during the Bulky Yarn Challenge, one of the hats. And she's like, hey, and she doesn't knit or crochet. And she's like, wow, this is really big. This is big for you. And I'm like, yeah, that's part of the Bulky Yarn Challenge. Everyone thought it was funny to send me bulky yarn, big needles. Joke's on you guys. I'm using one of the crochet hooks. I really am. That is the M crochet hook. 9mm M crochet hook is what I'm using for my trip around the world blanket. And I actually really do like it. Took a little bit getting used to it, but I do like it. I like the texture. I don't know. Just having fun. I am just on a high right now. Not like, no, not, yeah, I'm in Colorado, but I'm not using any drugs. I'm not that type of high. But no, just a life high. Just a, wow, I am just so stoked to finally get those packages packed. And, you know, it was hanging over my head. I didn't realize it. And the people who are getting it don't even know they're getting it. I mean, why was that? Talk about a pressure we put on ourselves. Isn't that weird? I have 4 packages where the recipient doesn't know it's coming, but it was weighing on my head because I didn't mail it at the time period where I thought about mailing it. All right, we put a lot of undue pressure on ourselves, right? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Well, I'm glad that I've gotten that out of the way, and that is something that I can take off my plate, and I feel so much lighter and just so much better and just ready to take on so much more. Yeah, so whatever it is little in your life that you can just do to sweep away, you might want to do it. It's just a little effort. It wasn't difficult. It really wasn't. I made that into a mountain. Man, it's just this little tiny thing, this little thing. And boy, I'm telling you, it's been a while. I had all of these 4 packages have been in my head for quite some time where I wanted to send them out for a few weeks now. It's literally been weeks. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, I just decided 2 days ago. No, it's been weeks. And yeah, it's been weighing. So happy to share that. Production, right? Celebrate life's victories, whatever they are, whether that is getting out of bed and brushing your hair, because sometimes life throws such curveballs that's a struggle, right? If that's your thing, get out of bed, brush your hair, brush your teeth too, you'll feel much better. You know, doing those little tiny things make a huge difference. This is making a huge difference for me. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.